Halo, Sacred Icon listeners, and welcome back to another Sacred Icon video. Today I thought it would be interesting to touch on Doom 2016 since we're getting ever so close to Doom: The Dark Ages. This series has been really just kind of popping off since the beginning, and it seems that The Dark Ages is going to be another huge win for us as fans. But I thought it'd be interesting to kind of go back and look at how we got here. As you know, the original Doom and Doom 2 were very, very popular and well-beloved still to this day. And then as time went on, eventually we got Doom 3, which was this horror survival type of Doom where it kind of got rid of a lot of what you expect from Doom with, the fast paced and the bazillion enemies on screen. And it moved to this type of, one or two enemy in a hallway and they jump out at you and it's dark. And it was like this whole different kind of thing. But the thing with Doom 3 is that it was still pretty beloved when it came out. It was just a spectacle. The graphics were amazing. It made it to console on the Xbox. And Doom 3, it got good scores and had a really good following still. But it kind of left people wondering, how do I get an experience like those original Dooms? Because Doom 3 really doesn't offer me that. And we were at this weird place in the mid-2000s where you had a lot of Doom fans, but most of them came from those original titles. And of course, you had your section of people that love Doom 3 like myself, but we just hadn't really seen what a modern take on the actual original Doom formula would be. And after a few years had passed by since Doom 3, we heard about Doom 4, and we actually saw footage of Doom 4, which was this very Call of Duty inspired take on it. It looked like a Call of Duty campaign, but with demons, and it really kind of made people worried that there wasn't a way to bring Doom back into modern times without screwing it up. And id Software, they had this reputation for really good games, but between like the mixed take on Doom 3 and what they'd shown off on Doom 4, and then eventually their next game they released, which was Rage in 2011, it really had us wondering if they could do Doom justice at this point in time. Rage was graphically, beautiful, and it had great gunplay mechanics, but it was really just kind of dry, and it didn't really captivate anyone with its story or its world. It kind of ended up being a rather mid-game. So when eventually we saw footage from what eventually became Doom 2016, it all kind of had us skeptical. It was like the last good game they really made was Doom 3, and even that kind of split the fan base a little bit. So they showed off Doom 2016, and you're seeing glory kills, and you're seeing fast-paced action, no sprint, just like actual fast moving speed, and it kind of looks like it could be something good, but at the same time, just seeing some of that footage wasn't really enough to give us an idea for if this was actually going to be a good game or not, And I think for me, back in 2016, where I was like, okay, I had seen Wolfenstein come back with Wolfenstein: The New Order in 2014, and that was by Machine Games, and they had really brought back this retro feel of like a first-person shooter, like an id-style first-person shooter, and I kind of wanted them to be the one making Doom, and I didn't think that Doom 2016 could really live up to even what Wolfenstein: The New Order had did. But by the time Doom 2016 came out, bought the game, booted it up, amazing scores across the board, and you start playing the game, and you get into the thrill of the movement and the glory kills and getting health as you go along from those glory kills, the switching of weapons and the constant ammo and the constant screen being berated with enemies, and it really just felt like, holy shit, is Doom back? I think it might be back. And of course, going through Doom 2016 with the music by Mick Gordon and the weapons introduced and the upgrades and the different bosses and just the whole style and the story, all of it called back to that style that people really loved of the original Dooms, and it modernized it and it made it something really special. I ended up walking away from Doom 2016 liking it even more than the New Order, which I couldn't believe I was saying. I really didn't think that was possible. But Doom quickly put itself back on the map as one of the best first-person shooters, and it modernized it for a new audience. Of course, then we're looking forward to what's the next Doom going to be like? How are they going to expand upon this? And eventually, 4 years later, 2020, we get Doom Eternal, which really continues what we knew from Doom 2016, but it also throws back to the original Dooms with its story and with its setting a little bit. And then it also changes the gameplay in this way where it still feels the same with the shooting and the fast pacedness, but instead they've made it so that you really need to use all of the weapons in your arsenal and use them in particular ways with particular enemies to get through these environments and to progress through the game. It kind of had almost like a little bit of a Dark Souls-y feel, where it's like it's difficult, but you need to like properly use what you have to be able to take enemies down, you know, like parrying and dodging and using the right weapon for the right foe. And Doom Eternal really just kind of blew everyone away again. It felt like Doom 2016, but taken up a notch, and it was really a perfect sequel. And it just kind of put us in this place where it's like, can id Software do any wrong? Doom Eternal was just so good. And, you know, as the years have passed by, some people have fallen into the category of liking Doom 2016 more because it was more of a typical, fast-paced, traditional old-school shooter. And then others have preferred Doom Eternal because it had this more gamified way of killing demons and switching up your arsenal. But they've really just been two incredible titles that everyone nowadays loves. And you know, you see the announcement for Doom: The Dark Ages, and everyone's just excited. And there's really no concern in the room if this game will be good or not, because id Software has proven time and time again now that they know how to modernize Doom and how to make it a really compelling first-person shooter. So where does that put us at? We're here in 2025, and The Dark Ages is on the horizon. We are very soon to seeing some more behind-the-scenes gameplay and hopefully a release date. You know, The Dark Ages is definitely making it out this year. It's a prequel to Doom 2016, kind of setting up some of the background information that we've seen in 2016 in Doom Eternal. And it looks like it has a little bit more of a, like, it's still very fast-paced, but it looks like it's slowed down a little bit. It's gotten away from some of Eternal's craziness, where, like, I remember there was times where I was playing Doom Eternal and I just didn't even know what I was doing. It was going so fast. So it just looks like they're offering kind of a third pillar for a way to play a modernized Doom. You know, you have 2016 style, you have Eternal style, and now you have the Dark Ages style. And I'm just really, really excited for what this game is going to bring. I think it's probably going to close out their modern Doom trilogy. I would wager they're going to move on to something different after this, after, you know, spending about 10 years back with Doom again. But the Dark Ages just looks incredible. I'm so excited to use that shield and have that badass bear cloak. But I thought it would be worth shouting out just kind of how important Doom has been as a franchise over the years to the first-person shooter genre, and how it's managed to consistently just be quality through the years. You know, you have people that didn't really like Doom 3. You have people who don't really know much about Doom 64 or care about it, but all of these games have been incredible titles, and it has managed to carry on the legacy of the franchise through time, and we're all so excited for the Dark Ages coming in 2025. So I would just like to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Doom is still killing it the way it did back in the 90s? Is it still as relevant? Is it still as important? Do you like these modern Doom games? What is your favorite? Do you like more of the 2016 angle, more of the Doom Eternal angle? And do you think the Dark Ages is going to be able to progress the series forward in a way that makes sense? Will this be the first time that id slips up and does something wrong? I mean, it's possible, but I really don't think any of us are feeling that way. So it's going to be great to just get a third title in the series and be able to say, look back at this Doom trilogy, this modernized trilogy, and just have it be up there with the originals, which is something I just never really thought was going to be possible. But yeah, guys, I'm looking forward to Doom: The Dark Ages. I love Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I hope you guys feel the same. I would love to know where your thoughts are on this new game. Please leave a comment and a like below. Thank you for listening, and as always, keep it sacred.